Okay, so I keep getting questions about what to do when the 3D circumstances or people showing up in the 3D are shitty, showing up in shitty states, just shitty things. Okay, what do we do, especially when it seems to be completely opposite to what we thought our assumptions or beliefs were? So when we talk about causation, it's important to understand that you are constantly manifesting, you're constantly experiencing what's called an outpicturing of the contents of your mind. Okay, the arrangement of your mind is what causes everything in your reality. That doesn't mean that you are to blame yourself when if someone trespasses a boundary. That doesn't mean you excuse the bad behavior. Yes, we are responsible for everyone. We are responsible to mentally move them. But that doesn't mean that we gaslight ourselves, or that we don't set boundaries, or that we should dismiss bad behavior. Okay, those are different things. Even Neville himself called out to a thief. Okay, he was against lying things. He taught to follow the golden rule, to imagine lovingly for everyone. So anybody who is teaching the law, who's teaching you that you're God of your reality, if they're following the law of assumption as Neville taught it, they're also supposed to be loving, because God is love. Okay, God is love. We are to be loving towards one another. We are to be seeking unity. Anyways, I recently experienced, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I was even angry this morning. I'm doing the dishes and I'm just realizing, oh, I'm observing, I can see I'm still angry with this coach. I'm still angry about this situation because this coach hurt my friend. I thought that my friend was also a friend of this coach. That's what the coach had indicated to me. And there was, without going into, I don't want to out either one of them. Okay, that's not the point of sharing this. But basically, the coach knew that the friend was in crisis and said they were going to reach out to the friend, and then they never did. And not only did they not ever reach out to the friend while in crisis, the friend was in crisis, but other things surfaced, wrongs between the coach and the friend that the coach had indicated wanting to make right, wanting to make amends, but didn't, and instead blocked me. One of the frustrations, one of the things that was hard for my mind to process through, because I am autistic, I have ADHD, so I see things differently. I have different, usually different perspective on things. I'm very, very literal. But I thought I had really good assumptions of the coach. I thought I had, consciously, if you had asked me prior to this incident, if you had asked me my opinion, I would have said very positive things. And so this wasn't in alignment with what I thought my beliefs were about this person. People are forced to show up according to our assumptions and according to the arrangement of our mind. But that doesn't mean we're always going to know what within our mind caused them to show up that way that they did. So some people will respond by going on a treasure hunt, digging for limiting beliefs, trying to find their blocks, or trying to figure out what in their awareness causes to stop it. So That's what some people do. That's not my approach. I don't think it's helpful. If you don't immediately know what, like if you don't immediately recognize, okay, I did have this bias against this person, or okay, I did think this. But if you're like me, you're like, no, I thought really good things about this person. I think it's better to do as Neville said, and instead of focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. Now, when you're having a really strong reaction to something and you're really upset by it, at least for me, it's really hard. Even with mindfulness practice, it's really hard to just immediately redirect to either the desired reality, whether I'm imagining for the person or myself or other people. It can be hard to immediately redirect to that. I do recommend doing some mindfulness activity, talking to your emotions, at least acknowledge them so that you diffuse them a little bit. But as far as the redirecting part, when I was fuming this morning, when I was having my emotional reaction, the words came to me, turn your eyes upon Jesus. Now, Jesus is your imagination. And I immediately thought of the story of Peter walking out on the water to Jesus, and how this is an allegory of the waters representing the 3D life circumstances and people showing up in shitty ways. You have to ignore it, and you ignore it by it. It's natural to ignore it as a byproduct of keeping your eyes on Jesus, of redirecting your attention onto the truth, what you know to be true, what you've accepted to be true. The other thing that I want to say about that is understanding that there may be a lag time. Okay, I've worked with different systems, and you as the end user may not see all the screens. You may not see all the systems. You may just see that you're inputting data onto this form or uploading these files into Windows Explorer. And you may not see all the different places that information travels to. It may look like information is immediately populated in front of you in real time, but it may actually be traveling through different systems. And you may or may not see a lag time. Now, I would see a lot of lag time between different systems, especially like cloud-based systems. But at the same time, so while I'm waiting for information to show up on this main screen, I'd be like, well, I just entered this information, and I go into like Windows Explorer or Excel or whatever program or system it was. Yeah, I'm looking right at it. It's right here. It should be accessible. I'm looking at it. Right? I just entered it, and it's right here, but it's not showing up on these other screens. Well, there's reasons for that on the back end that could be causing that you don't need to worry about. All you need to know is that it's already entered. The data is already there. Okay, your imaginal act, what you've been affirming to be true about yourself already exists right here, right now. It's already there. Now, it may take a while. You don't know how long it might take for it to be updated in the 3D, but it is there already. That helps, hopefully. So